What if India, China, and Russia were true allies? Three nuclear powers, three ancient civilizations, a combined population of over 3 billion people, an unstoppable force that could reshape the world and end Western dominance overnight. Just imagine it. No NATO, no American policing, just Eurasia, powerful, united, and sovereign. But there's one problem: you can't trust China. Because when bullets fly, China lies. When soldiers die, China hides. That's why Russia's dream of an India-China-Russia alliance is falling apart. But why does Russia want them together so badly? Let's find out.
I want to once again reaffirm our genuine and sincere interest in the prompt resumption of the Russia-India-China trilateral format.
Russia has long dreamed of an India-China-Russia trilateral, a Eurasian counterbalance to Western alliances like NATO and AUKUS. This vision started back in the 1990s and got a formal shape through the RIC, Russia-India-China dialogue format. But now, with the West isolating Russia after the Ukraine war, Putin needs this alliance more than ever. And China is fully on board. Xi Jinping and Putin in their March 2023 summit emphasized strengthening RIC coordination and attacked NATO for destabilizing Asia. But Russia's Eurasian triangle had a fatal flaw. India and China aren't friends. In June 2020, Indian and Chinese soldiers clashed in the Galwan Valley of Ladakh, resulting in 20 Indian soldiers martyred. India honored every single one of them. Their names, their faces, their stories were made public. The nation grieved, saluted, and remembered them with pride. But on the other side, China didn't even acknowledge the full truth. It refused to release casualty figures for months, and when it finally did, it claimed only 4 soldiers died. But according to Russian and US intelligence, the real number was far higher. Over 40 Chinese soldiers were killed. China didn't hold national funerals, didn't allow families to speak freely, and didn't share any names or details, a stark contrast to India. Even in death, China chose secrecy over honor. This was the first deadly clash between India and China since 1975, and a turning point for India's China policy. After this, India made one thing crystal clear. Business as usual with China is not possible without peace at the borders. In July 2020, India cancelled the RIC trilateral meeting scheduled just weeks after the Galwan clash. Russia finds itself in a difficult spot. On one hand, it needs India, a longtime defense partner and trusted friend. On the other, it can't offend China, now its biggest strategic and economic lifeline against Western sanctions. Lavrov, Russia's foreign minister, even accused NATO of trying to drive a wedge between India and China. Quote, "The US and NATO are playing double games by cozying up to India to spoil its relations with China." Sergei Lavrov, 2023. But the truth is, it's not NATO that caused the Galwan Valley deaths. It was China. Russia keeps pushing for peace between India and China. But India has not forgotten 1962, Doklam or Galwan. India is walking a tightrope, but it's doing it on its own terms. It continues buying weapons and oil from Russia, while also deepening ties with the US, France, Japan, and even participating in Quad, a group China hates. India has refused to choose sides. Fact: India skipped the China-hosted RIC foreign ministers meeting in 2021 over border tensions. In every international forum, India repeats its position. There cannot be normalcy with China until border issues are resolved. China, meanwhile, plays both friend and foe. It backs Russia's anti-NATO rhetoric, yet builds up infrastructure on the LAC. It talks of BRICS unity, but blocks India's membership bids in multilateral forums and supports Pakistan diplomatically and militarily. Even during the RIC talks, China refused to acknowledge Galwan or step back from friction points. China has refused complete disengagement from key hotspots in eastern Ladakh, despite 20-plus rounds of military talks. India sees this and acts accordingly. Russia's dream of an India-China-Russia triangle won't work until 2 of the legs stop kicking each other. India wants peace, but not at the cost of its sovereignty. China wants dominance and uses every forum, including RIC, as a political trap. Russia may try to play the middleman, But the Galwan ghosts still walk. And now China has made its position even more clear. Recently, China openly declared that it's on Pakistan's side, not India's. And it's going further than diplomacy. China is reportedly transferring its fifth-generation stealth fighter, the J-35, to Pakistan, directly tilting the regional balance. The goal? To help Pakistan counter India militarily, especially in the air. How can India ever align with a country that arms its enemy? Until China disengages from India's borders and stops empowering India's adversaries, there is no triangle. There is only tension. What do you think? Can India and China ever work together in a meaningful alliance? Or is Russia chasing a fantasy? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to VocabTales, where global affairs meet clarity.